Alrighty, it is time for your 2012 Over the Limit review. I know I'm kind of late, but did their Over the Limit reviews yesterday during the pay-per-view, but I was tired late last night, so I'm doing it today. So Over the Limit 2012 pay-per-view was last night. The first match opened up, actually, the pre-pay-per-view match was Kane versus Zack Ryder. This is the pre-pay-per-view match, the match that was only on YouTube. Kane beat Zack Ryder. Practically, in my opinion, I think destroyed him, but yeah. The first match you get was a People Power Battle Royal. The winner of that match would get a shot at the U.S. or Intercontinental titles of their choosing if they won the match. Surprise guest appearance was Christian. Christian's back. Back to the light side of the force, at least. This match was decent. It was alright. Christian won the Battle Royal. After that, we got into a tag team title match. Kingston and Truth defending against Ziggler and Jack Swagger. This tag team match I thought was another decent match. Wasn't that great. Kingston and Truth. I mean, I've said it once, I said it before again. I think anyone else can agree. Kingston and Evan Bourne had good chemistry as a tag team, and I still think R-Truth and The Miz, they should have kept those two guys as a tag team because I think they complement each other pretty well as well. Maybe not wrestling skill-wise and maneuvers, but, at least they fed off each other's, personalities very well. But Kingston and R-Truth ended up getting the victory and I thought it was a pretty decent tag title match. Let's see, the next match we got that was the Divas match. Layla defending against Beth Phoenix. Layla won, and Divas match. We get into the World Championship title match. Sheamus defending against Alberto Del Rio, Chris Jericho, and Randy Orton. This match was a good fatal four-way. Probably one of the best fatal four-ways I've seen in a while. I mean, it wasn't like, to me, I almost feel like at the edge of your seat, awesome. But it wasn't a bad match. It was a good fatal four-way. A lot of cool, awesome spots where Jericho had Alberto Del Rio in the walls of Jericho, and while he had him in the submission hold, Sheamus was about to kick Jericho, but Jericho dodged it. Sheamus turned around, only to get attacked by the Code Breaker. There were a lot of cool spots in that match. Sheamus ended up getting the victory over on Chris Jericho. He pinned Chris Jericho and successfully defended his title, so he's still the world heavyweight champion. Then we got this ridiculous segment with The Miz. Dancing, doing the different Michael Jackson dances from Thriller, and They Don't Really Care About Us, and just ridiculous. I mean, just make Miz look like a complete idiot, a complete joke. I understand, Miz is the type of guy you could really take as a serious, quote-unquote threat, or a serious, main eventer, or maybe even a serious WWE champion. Because, you look at his run, when he was the WWE champion, half his title defenses was against a retired wrestler / ring announcer, commentator, Michael Cole. That's it, and that was half of his reign. So, but still, the way WWE is just doing stuff with him, I would love to be the fly on the wall behind backstage WWE creative team or something, because something's not right. Who did The Miz piss off in the higher-ups in the WWE? I'm just saying. But anyway, Brodus Clay ended up beating Miz, and the dance looking hot as ever. Not Naomi, but Camry, the lighter skin of the two dancers, Cameron just looking, I think it's Cameron or Carmen. She's looking just freaking hot. Anyway, then we go to the WWE Championship match. Punk and Daniel Bryan. But before we get into that, I thought Punk cut a pretty funny and entertaining promo before the match started when he was saying if anyone ever told Vince McMahon that in 10 years one of the main events of his pay-per-views will be between Daniel Bryan and CM Punk for the WWE Championship, you can picture Vince McMahon saying, "Who the hell is Daniel Bryan and who the hell is CM Punk?" Punk spoke with confidence. He knew that he and Bryan would have the best match on the card and would have absolute magic in the ring. In which, anyone who's followed their career back to Ring of Honor and even in IWA, Punk and Daniel Bryan are no strangers because they've been worked in IWA together, and they've had chemistry since then, going up to Ring of Honor to now WWE. So anyone who's followed those guys far back, we knew we were going to get an awesome match going into this. One thing I did find interesting, though, before I get to the details of the match, was that AJ had kind of was wishing Punk good luck. This makes the second time now that AJ is kind of getting in Punk's face. And so I'm just kind of wondering on a side note, was AJ kind of being the emotionally disturbed ex-girlfriend of Daniel Bryan? Is she trying to hook up with CM Punk because he's the champion and she's attracted to men who are champions? Or is it more so that she's starting to be attracted to CM Punk because of his close relationship with Daniel Bryan? He and Daniel Bryan are friends and have that connection. He has a connection with Daniel Bryan, so she's trying to get to Punk to get back to Bryan. I'm kind of figuring that's what they're trying to do. So that'll be kind of interesting to see how that works out. But on to the match itself, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk. Like I said, if you're someone who's watched these guys from Ring of Honor, IWA, these guys, best match on the card, hands down. This was a pure wrestling, authentic wrestling match. If you are someone who did not like this match, you did not think this match was awesome, you did not think this match is match of the year candidate, if you do not think this match was not great, if you think yourself that Daniel Bryan and CM Punk are not main event calibers, are not championship material wrestlers, you are not a wrestling fan. You cannot look at that match between Daniel Bryan and Punk and say anything bad about that match. They flowed together. There was no botches. These guys, obviously, because they wrestled each other like a million times over, so they know each other. They know each other's movesets and what the other person's going to do like the back of their hand. Fantastic chemistry. Excellent wrestling match. Put on some mean, nasty submission moves from Daniel Bryan on Punk, vice versa, back and forth. Excellent match. I don't normally rate matches, but if I was to rate this, I'd give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Hands down, fantastic match. And obviously we're going to see a continuation of this rivalry because when Daniel Bryan had CM Punk in the yes lock, Punk had put him in a reversal type of pin position where Daniel Bryan's shoulders were on the mat, but yet Punk was still locked into the yes lock, and the referee counts to 3. And when the referee counts to 3, Punk he tapped. Now, when I look at the replay, when they show the replay twice, to me it looks like Punk didn't tap until after the 3 count. So if Punk tapped after the 3 count, which it would have looked like to me, I don't think it was a controversial win. To me, Punk, he won fair and square. But obviously, going into tonight's Raw and probably the next pay-per-view, they're going to say that it was a controversy, a screwy finish because Daniel Bryan said he made Punk tap and that he was entitled to winning the championship. So definitely interested in seeing these guys getting back to the swing of things. Not getting back to the swing of things, but continuing to feud with these guys. But one other match I forgot before the WWE Championship match, Christian chose to face Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental title, and Christian, what I thought was a good match, a good mid-card match. Christian has won the Intercontinental Championship, so glad to see Christian back. Looks like now that I've been doing stuff with Cody Rhodes and being in the mid-card division, Sadly, I'd like to see Christian be back in the main event spot, but I don't know, maybe when the feud between him and Rose are over, they'll put him back in the main event spot. But still, just a good way for him to come back, after a long time. I mean, he's been gone for like pretty much almost a year. He's been gone recovering from his injuries. So I thought, giving him the IC belt was a good payoff, and obviously we're going to see a feud between these two. And I see these guys having some good matches in the future, like the one they had at Over the Limit. Then we get to the main event, People Power, John Laurinaitis versus John Cena. John Cena started beating up John Laurinaitis, and Big Show came out, punched John Cena in the face. John Laurinaitis pinned Cena, and Johnny Ace won. So yeah, that's it for the main event there. The crowd was dead. No one liked the main event. Everyone agrees, hands down, that Punk and Bryan should have been the main event, or hell, even Sheamus's match should have been the main event. Anything but Cena and Johnny Ace, because that match was terrible. So, anyway, that's it for my review. All in all, I thought Over the Limit was a pretty decent pay-per-view. I said this like 2 weeks going into the show, but before the pay-per-view started, I said in 2 weeks, just based off the world title matches, like the Sheamus and Punk match going into it, that I thought this was going to be the best Over the Limit pay-per-view to date from top to bottom. And it was. I mean, you have some hiccups here and there, like the Brodus Clay match, the main event, and the placement of the main event on the card. But I thought the rest of the other matches, I thought were pretty solid. I enjoyed both world title matches. I enjoyed seeing Christian coming back and winning the IC belt on top of that. And even his match with Cody Rhodes was pretty good. So I thought Over the Limit this year was a good, decent show. Let me know what you guys think about it. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. What you think about the Fatal 4-Way match between Sheamus and the other guys, and what do you think about Daniel Bryan and CM Punk match for the WWE title? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Subscribe. Peace.